Here's one way of playing a solo for a 12-bar funk tune in the key of C. The bass goes like this: C, C, G, B flat, G, B flat, C. When the song moved to the 4th chord, F, I had the horn section voiced in the 11th chord, adding one note at a time to build up the volume and tension. And one important arrangement note, I kept turning the volume up louder and louder until the climactic point at the end of the measure. Then I turned the volume back down when the song returned to its quiet mode back at the 1 chord. Using dynamics like this, moving the volume up and down breathes life into the music, and you should always look for spots in songs where you can do this. For my solo part during the very end of the 4 chord, I thought it would sound better if I went with the accent instead of clashing against it by playing a complex lead riff. So I just hit these splash notes. Back in the 1 chord, I could have fit in some solo notes and it would have sounded okay, but to me it sounded just as good when I didn't play anything. At the 5 chord, when the horns were playing a complex part, I played a simple solo part consisting of one sustained note. Then when there was no complex rhythm to compete with, I had the space for a more complex solo. The horn parts at the end come from the blues harmonies we studied earlier. The first triad consists of F, G sharp, and D, and the other 2 triads consist of the same intervals moved up in half steps. To get the timing correct, I had to use 2 hands, the left hand playing the middle triad and the right hand playing the 2 outside triads. The final lick, when the 2nd verse starts, consists of perfect fourths, starting with B flat, E flat, and G sharp notes, then moving this triad up in 1/2 step increments until we get to the triad made up of D, G, and C.